Now to Los Angeles, where President Biden is hosting leaders from across the Western Hemisphere at the Summit of the Americas. In the inaugural ceremony last night, the president laid out his plans for a new economic framework for the region and hailed the importance of democracy, which he says is under attack.
As we meet again today, in a moment when democracy is under assault around the world, let us unite again and renew our conviction that democracy is not only the defining feature of American histories, but the essential ingredient to America's futures.
NBC News White House correspondent Mike Memoli is traveling with the president and joins us now once again super early from Los Angeles. We are grateful for you, Mike. Now, there's been a cloud of controversy, of course, over the summit so far. We just talked about this. That was based on the guest list. But moving past that, as the summit is officially underway, let's talk about what the president outlined as goals for this. The White House sees it as a chance to reassert U.S. leadership, curb China's growing influence in the region. But tell us what else we heard from the president.
Yeah, Savannah, you know, I feel like I'm something of a broken record whenever I'm talking to you from a gathering of world leaders where the president is speaking, because the message here yesterday was much the same as it was in Asia a few weeks ago, as it's been on his trips to Europe. The core of the Biden foreign policy is this idea that democracies need to show that they can deliver for their people. You know, he's talked about this as a competition between democracies and autocracies. Now, that's an important message for this audience when you talk about that guest list issue, because it was about the president not inviting certain autocratic leaders to this summit. He talked about democracy being a defining characteristic of the Western Hemisphere. And he said that these countries, with whatever differences we have amongst ourselves, we need to be able to work together to deal with things like the economy. And that was why the president used this speech to unveil what they're calling the America's Partnership for Economic Prosperity, a sort of a general framework of principles that countries would sign on to try to improve the economies of the region. Here's the president laying out a little bit more of the philosophy. Take a listen.
The American Partnership will help economies grow from the bottom up and the middle out, not the top down. What's true in the United States is true in every country. Trickle-down economics does not work.
Now, the president also used his remarks to tee up what's going to be a major issue here tomorrow, and that is migration. He said legal migration is for the benefit of all countries, but we need to combat illegal migration, and there's going to be some major commitments he teased tomorrow here at the summit.
And a tall task for the vice president, of course, tasked with dealing with that as well. Now, what's on the agenda for the president today?
Yeah, it's interesting. The president's going to be giving two speeches today. One really getting more into the weeds of this economic framework. He's going to be speaking to a group of CEOs about that. Later, we're going to see both the president and the vice president announcing some clean energy initiatives. The vice president's going to be given another assignment, working with Caribbean nations on a partnership to bring more clean energy investments to that region. The president also has some one-on-one meetings on the schedule today. One with Prime Minister Trudeau of Canada, of course, one of our closest allies, a long relationship between these two. And then another very interesting conversation between President Biden and the president of Brazil, who's one of those countries moving in a more autocratic direction. A lot of concerns about his leadership.
All right, Mike Memoli, thank you so much.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.